Hey guys, Elise Levy here again, here to walk you through a little bit more about how to access different things on the Toastmasters International page this time. Hopefully you've already seen our Queen City Toastmasters tutorial and found that helpful. Toastmasters International page, or toastmasters.org, is where you're going to actually access your Pathways information. Pathways is your learning program through Toastmasters International. You should have received an email from Toastmasters International when we got you signed up. If you haven't gotten that already, check your spam folder or let us know, because that's how you're going to get onto this page. We'll set you up with a user or a password in your email, and then you should be able to go ahead and get started. Go ahead and log in, and then to access your Pathways program, you can go to Basecamp. The initial email that you received through Toastmasters International should walk you through how to choose a path in Pathways. That'll probably be kind of hard for me to just show you, simply because I have one. I guess we can try to play with it here and see what we can find. It's been a little while since I've since I've done that, so I might need a refresher as well. So if you go to the education page and click on the Pathways Learning Experience, it'll take you through and give you a little bit of information about what Pathways is, as well as a welcome video, and then you should be able to access an online assessment to figure out which one of these paths you may be most interested in. That assessment will give you a suggestion of which paths you might be interested in, but you can really choose whichever one you want there. So let's go ahead and access Pathways. If you haven't chosen a path yet, you will be able to go to the Choose Your Path here. Once you've chosen a path, you can access your pathway through Basecamp. So you can get to that here, and additionally, there's a way to go to Basecamp through the Pathways tab. We're going to go ahead and use that, because that's how I usually get to it. That will automatically pull up your Pathways learning program, as well as any other things that you've been working on within your learning curve with Pathways. So Pathways isn't super intuitive. It's a little bit challenging, a little bit tricky, and takes a little bit of practice. Basically, once you have chosen your path and you want to access that path, you can open that curriculum. The first level it will take you through is obviously level 1, and your first project within level 1 is your icebreaker. So you'll go ahead and launch that window, and it will open your project in a whole new window. Each project will take you through some material related to that project. With the icebreaker, a lot of it is really just kind of how to format a speech, really basic. But the projects get a little bit more in depth, with a little bit more information about what they're wanting you to learn about in that project in each one of those pathways. So let's just jump to the beginning of the program. So each one of these projects is going to have a similar kind of outline, where it gives you an introduction about the project, what your goals for the end of the project are going to be, and what your assignment is. Each project also has a way for you to assess your skills related to that project before, and then again, you'll see this after you've completed your speech. So you could just go ahead, flip through, read all of this, listen to the videos that they have that will describe how to write an icebreaker, how to give a good speech, and then go ahead and give your icebreaker. Once you've given the icebreaker, you'll come back into this program and reevaluate yourself. And that will pop up right at the very end here. So I've already done mine, so it doesn't take me through it again. But once you fill out the evaluation, the project is complete. And it's really important, you do have to go back and fill out that post-evaluation Otherwise, it never says that you've completed that project. Once that project's complete, it'll take you back. You can go back and start on your second project here. Once you've completed all 3 of these projects, you'll definitely want to complete your level. And so you should be able to, here in the drop down, submit. Let's see if maybe I can play with it in mine and show you exactly what we're talking about. You should be able to submit the level for completion. And so that request goes to our Vice President of Education. And he or she will go ahead and confirm that you've given the speeches that you say you've given, and complete your level. And it's important that you do fill out each one of these level completions, even if it does allow you to move on to the next levels, because level completions through the Pathways program is how we earn some education awards for the club. And those education awards just go to show, how awesome we really are, and just gives us some numbers for how great that we know that we already are. And I'm still having some computer issues, so you'll just kind of have to use your imagination in that front as well. And I want to show you a few more things. So let's see if we can get this back up and running. I'm going to pause one more time, and then we'll jump back in here in a second when I've got this working again. All right, we might be back in business. It's been frustrating, but we work through it. Basically, I'm back at the Pathways kind of homepage here, and I want to show you some tutorials and resources that you can use. So instead of going to your Pathways and Learning, if you go over here to Tutorials and Resources, it will, hopefully, yep, there we go, take you to a page that gives you the option over here on the left under Subject to click on Tutorials. That will pull up a list of video tutorials on how to complete some of these things in Pathways that we sometimes run into people struggling with. The first being, how the heck do I get on here in the first place? Accessing your path. This will take you through in a little bit better detail than I did how to get on to Pathways. Additionally, there is a video on how to complete a level and how to complete a project. So these are 2 kind of sticky points that we run into with people. I gave my speech and now what? And so these are good resources to remember. And again, they're under the Pathways, Tutorials, and Resources page. I want to hopefully show you a couple more things. If you go to your homepage here on Basecamp, it'll let you access a lot of this information additionally. So again, this is where you'll find your educational path. This is where you can pull up evaluations for different speeches, blank evaluations that you can use as an evaluator, as well as a Tutorials and Resources page. If you go to the My Document section, it'll actually allow you to save evaluations, or if you want to put speech notes in there, this will let you kind of keep all of that in one place, since there's really nowhere else on Pathways for all that information. Finally, if you go up here to the little gear and you go to My Account, it will take you to this list of roles. And so you can, if you want to, fill in the date for when you've completed these roles. And some of them I haven't updated in a long time. Some of them I've never updated, even though I've definitely been timer. I just never got around to putting it in there. But again, if you're interested in filling this out, you can always run that roles report that we talk about in the Queen City Toastmasters page. Figure out when you fill those roles and get that information transferred over here. I think that's about it for the Toastmasters International page. We'll see if we'll let it access. There we go. So let us access that My Documents folder. They call it the ePortfolio. And again, this is where you can go to save all of your different evaluations if you want to. You don't have to. This is just kind of backup proof that I went ahead and I did actually do these speeches. There is one more thing I wanted to show you. If you're kind of running into any trouble, on here there is a thing called the Navigator, and that is basically a tutorial on Pathways in general and Toastmasters and even more general. So if you have any questions, that can be a good place to start. And there is one more website, one more resource I wanted to show you guys. It's actually our District 37 Toastmasters page, d37toastmasters.org. And this is kind of a neat page. It's kind of our whole state is the district. You can see an old picture of our club here, which is awesome. They have some resources on pathways. So they have a lot of the same videos that are on the Toastmasters International page, as well as some additional videos and presentations that they've actually put together that are pretty helpful. So if you're running into some trouble and you want to try to troubleshoot on your own, d37toastmasters.org is a pretty good place to start on their resources page. They also have an events and programs page with a calendar that right now is fairly blank because of COVID, and so we don't have many events going on at this point, but they do have some Toastmasters Leadership Institute information on here when we start back into open house season and club contest, speech contest season. All that information is going to be on here. So if you're curious, what's going on in the Toastmasters world, this is a pretty good place to start. Well, hopefully you guys have found that helpful and it kind of gets you kicked off. We're definitely looking forward to having you as an active member of Queen City Toastmasters. And, like I said before, it starts with just the first little step. The first time you fill a role in a meeting or volunteer for table topics or give your first icebreaker speech. And that's always really exciting. And, it's those first small steps that take you on your journey to success. We're really looking forward to working with you at Queen City Toastmasters. As always, feel free to reach out if you have any questions, and we will see you on Tuesday. Thanks so much.